Well, after walking the floor at Gen Con and getting weary with running out of fuel on my convention floor hot dogs and chicken tenders, I remembered that you all told me to check out a trading card game called Epic. And this is by White Wizard Games. I had honestly never heard of it before. And in fact, when you all told me about it, I thought it was new. I thought it was going to be expensive. And I thought that it was going to be kind of lame. I don't know why I thought these things. It's because maybe I'm an elitist Magic player. But you can't play Magic all of the time. And this is why games like Hex and Hearthstone and, other online trading card games, maybe Eternal or Upper Deck's new Legendary DXP or whatever the case may be, this is where they're going to get a foothold. And so I went on over to the White Wizard Games booth and I said, hey, tell me about Epic. And I actually think I unintentionally talked to one of the game designers or the CEO. I was just there as any pleb would be. And I said, well, what does it take to start? They said, everything is in this box. And I said, okay, great. What are these booster packs? So they have these booster packs, Tyrants and Uprising, 2 different sets right now. I said, well, what will it cost for me to just go all the way and get everything? Well, this is about $15, and these booster packs were maybe $3 or $4 each. So all in, maybe $50 or $60, and I could get all the expansions and the set. Now, if you don't know about Epic, I'm not an expert on it. However, I spent a good bit of time on the at the booth talking about it, and it's a game that is very similar to Magic. And I don't mean that as a slight, because even games like Hex that I like have a lot of same features as the same features as Magic does. They have their own version of haste, their own version of trample, their own version of summoning sickness, their own colors. Magic may have been the largest, they are the most well known, but their mechanics are often imitated by many other trading card games. So I didn't want to hold it against Epic. And one thing I want to tell you is, so you can draft this, you can play sealed, you can play constructed. If you want to play constructed or you want to have like a cube or something, you could get 3 or 4 of these. I think a playset they said is maybe 3, maybe 4. I can't remember exactly. But each one of these, I'm going to have a link in the description below. You can hopefully your local game store has it. If they don't, you can get them for maybe $12 or $13. That's it. $13, and you can be drafting and playing sealed. So inside this is the deck. One thing they recommended to me was getting some sleeves, which I have plenty of, so I didn't need to worry about it. But here it is. This is the game. So you have some tokens on top, and then you have the cards. You have either a 0 or a 1 casting cost, and you can pretty much only cast 1 big spell each turn. You get 1 gold each turn. So if you have maybe a couple of zeros in your hand, you could cast them both, and then you're 1, and that's it, and then you pass the turn. I watched Dice Tower's review on this, and he talked about how it appealed to his Timmy side, basically, that you are casting very powerful spells each turn, and there are big swings. The game takes about 20 minutes, but most people say you can get a game in under 10. Some of what I like about Epic is, well, we have uninhibited art. We have big, powerful creatures. When you're looking at some of the bigger creatures, here's Pack Alpha. It's 5/6 attack and defense, just like in Magic. You have this guy. Look at this, Raging T-Rex, a 12/10, and you can cast this on turn 1. So on turn 1, you could be putting out a 12 power creature. So if you like, basically put it this way: if you understand how to play Magic, this game will be very easy to learn. If you don't understand how to play Magic, it will also be pretty easy to pick up. It's a lot less complex than Magic. You don't have like as much going on, but here you can have a rampaging worm. Look at this, 14-14 potentially. And it also has blitz, which is their version of haste. So you can play this out and swing for 14. Now each player starts with 30 life, so you can see just how quick a game can kind of get done. Now you can play sealed just by shuffling this up and giving each player 30 cards, or you can play draft, where if I understood the rules, you would turn 4 cards up. One player would pick the 1 card they want, and then the other player gets to take 2, and then the person that picked first takes their card back. So you can draft, you can play sealed, and everything is right here in this one box for 15 bucks. As I go on to explain more options for, as many of you know, I started out basically as a Magic channel, and I want to show some other options for people. And Epic seemed like an absolute home run. How could I not recommend something that is, if you just buy the base set for less than 15 bucks, you get a deck of cards that you can draft and play sealed, and you can also maybe use it as a gateway to Magic for people. So you can play sealed with 2 to 4 players, pack draft with 3 to 4 players, and they'll tell you with 2 sets. So this is 1 set. You would buy 2 of these, so you'd have 2 sets, but they're the same cards. You would just have more randomization and things like that. But you have champions, and you have all your keywords and abilities explained in here. So huge. I mean, it's hard to go wrong knowing what we pay for Magic cards, right? Then they have expansions. And these expansions are boosters like we have in Magic the Gathering. However, it's not like random boosters. If you want to add something to your deck, so we have Uprising and we have Tyrants. In each booster, they tell you exactly what's in there. And this is like a foreign idea to me. But you know exactly what's in each booster pack. And here it tells you contains 13 cards for use with Epic, and it tells you exactly what's in there. And you use these then to spice up your deck, to add into the draft format, just as a way to expand. So here's Marcus Watch Captain. He's a 10/10. And you have Quell, banish all 0-cost champions, draw a card. Reap or Sow. Hands from below, deal 4 damage to each attacking champion. So here we have an instant spell, basically, for Magic, like Magic. And each pack is balanced with some pretty spicy creatures. Now, I watched some reviews where people are like, oh, well, if you could only pick one, I'm going to review each one of the cards in this pack. But it was hard for me to... most of us play Magic. It's hard for me to say, like, holy crap, for 15 bucks, imagine being able to buy like, an entire next set of Magic for 15 bucks, right? I bought everything here for 50 bucks. So it's like, I just bought them all. I was like, oh God, this is so cool. This is cheap. And you don't have to play these, you don't have to get these expansions either. But what I like about it is, well, first of all, I love the art. But I like that you can be kind of a Timmy, you can be aggressive, play big, fat, huge, you make big swings every turn. You can build constructed decks, you can build your draft, you can build your sealed. The game's been around a long time. White Wizard Games is supporting it. And like it's just all in one. So maybe you wanted to only buy one of these packs. You could do that. Here's a Fire Spirit. Look at 11/9 with Tribute, meaning when you play it, you draw a card. And then you can also deal 4 damage to target champion. Feeding Frenzy. Fumble. I'm not going to be too aggressive on rating things. Like, if this was $100, for the base game, I would probably be a bit more aggressive. But for 15 bucks, as somebody who likes limited Magic, meaning I like draft and sealed, this offers a different, like, I can just insert this, Helion the Dominator, and play a different type of game. And I'll put links to where you can get these booster packs too. I mean, you can get all 4 booster packs for $15 shipped. If you can't find it, Epic also has like their card box, or if you want to have like the play set or basically like a cube. I referred to it as a cube, but they didn't seem to use that language that much. I don't know why. It feels like a cube to me. Now here's Uprising. Here's the Flame of Skaros. And so here you have Skaros, Hound of Draka in here. And I gotta say, the card quality is pretty nice. Look at that zombie token. It's pretty rad. It feels about the same thickness as a Magic card, but they said you're going to want to sleeve this stuff, and I get that. You're shuffling them. You know, they had their own sleeves, but why would I? You know, I have my mulliganing is for the weak sleeves. I have endless sleeves now from Ultimate Guard. So I'm actually going to throw all these together, and I probably am going to order another base set, and then I'll just throw together this draft set. And then I've got one friend that plays board games with me and stuff, and he also knows how to play Magic. So we'll do some sealed Epic with all the expansions. And their website seems pretty good in terms of getting all the rules. Look at this Village Protector, 10-3. Den Mother. I'm actually pretty excited for this game. I'm sorry to be all hype, but what can I say as a Magic player who pays $15 to draft just one time? What can I say negative about a game that, you know, maybe it's not as deep as like a Control deck? You know, if you really like complex gameplay with Control decks and all that sort of thing, maybe Epic isn't going to be the game for you. But for me, it seems like a really awesome alternative, a break from Magic the Gathering. And I know a lot of you told me to check it out, and so I'm really glad that I did. And if you play Epic, I'd love to hear your comments down below. What kind of constructed decks do you like doing? What factions or what colors do you like the best? If you have any more questions for me, I've got a contact at White Wizard Games, so I can ask specific questions. But that's Epic. I highly recommend giving it a shot. If you're looking for something, if you're burnt out on Magic, you just want to have something later around. I'm going to sleeve all this stuff up and put it in one of my Ultimate Guard deck boxes for when some buddies come over, and we'll do a little bit of drafting. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.